Hey, hi, hello, welcome back. My name is Katie, and today I'm doing my top of the TBR for 2019. So these are the books that I want to read in 2019 that are already on my TBR. So this is not all of the books that I want to read in 2019. Obviously, I've got my anticipated releases, I have a reread TBR, and then just random books that I don't own that I'm going to get from the library. But these are 12 books that I will be pretty upset with myself if I don't get to them in 2019. The first one I want to show you is The Lightning Thief by Rick Riordan. This is the first book in the Percy Jackson series. I have read this before, yes, that is true, but it was so long ago that this is going to be like a brand new read for me. I have owned this series since way before I even started booktube. I mean, I've already missed the boat, but I just want to tread water behind the boat instead of being left on the shore. That's a weird metaphor, but I want to read this series is what it comes down to. So I'm going to reread this first book in hopes that it jumpstarts me to read the rest of this series and then maybe his later books. I haven't read a single Rick Riordan book, so 2019 is the time. 25 years old, 2019, gonna read a middle grade series. The next book that I definitely want to get to in 2019 is Foolish Hearts by Emma Mills. I am so behind on all of Emma Mills' releases. She writes so fast and releases books pretty much every year. She has a new one coming out in February. I've only read 2 of them. This is her third. Is this her third? Yeah, this is her third, and I want to get to it. This follows a high school production of A Midsummer Night's Dream. Emma Mills' covers and naked books are so beautiful. Her writing style is amazing. She's one of the only contemporary authors that I truly adore. So, gonna read Foolish Hearts sometime soon, hopefully in 2019. Next up, we have The Dream Thieves by Maggie Stiefvater. This is the second book in the Raven cycle, which is a YA paranormal kind of romance, mostly mystery series. I read the first book in this series in 2018 and I just want to continue on with it. It took me so long to read The Raven Boys. Well, it didn't take me that long to actually physically read it, but it took me long to start it. So I want to keep this on my TBR in hopes that that doesn't happen again because this series is fantastic. Another YA paranormal that I want to get to, maybe in the latter half of the year, is Neverworld Wake by Marisha Pessl. This has gotten very mixed reviews, but since I adore Marisha Pessl's writing, I think I am going to really enjoy this. It follows like a time loop of 5 friends in between, like I think they're home for the summer after their first year in college. It seems weird and bizarre and mystical, and I'm here for it. The next book that I want to get to is Even the Darkest Stars by Heather Fawcett. This is a YA fantasy that just seems extremely dreamy and beautiful, and it follows our main character who wants to be like a royal explorer, and she doesn't really have the skill set. It seems like her older sister is going to get the job, but the most significant explorer currently employed with the Empire shows up and demands that she gets the job, and it just seems like a lot of fun fantasy that I like. There's a little dog companion or fox companion or some sort of animal companion in a fantasy world with stars and maps and exploring. I'm ready. Moving into a sci-fi release that I want to get to. It's Honor Among Thieves by Rachel Kane and Anne Aguirre. This is a young adult sci-fi thief running away from crimes not committed with sentient alien spaceships. Sounds amazing. Heard good things. Actually, I haven't heard too much. I heard a little bit when this came out, but I haven't heard too much. I know the sequel comes out soon. I'm ready. I want to read this so bad. I want to read more sci-fi this year, and this is going to be my gateway. I want to get to The Crown of Embers by Ray Carson. This is the second book in the Girl of Fire and Thorns trilogy by Ray Carson. It's a YA fantasy that is so good. I read the first book last year. So good. The main character has a beautiful arc. There's a lot of diverse elements in it. People are sleeping on this series. It was published a while ago. This second book came out in 2012. Y'all are sleeping on this series. The main character is so good. The writing is good. The plot is crazy. It's a little slow at times. It's very political, but that's what I love. So this one. I'm gonna get 2 this year. Moving on to another sci-fi, we have Obsidium by Amy Kaufman and Jay Kristoff. This is the 3rd book in the Illuminae Files, which is a young adult sci-fi told in mixed media, emails, text messages, video surveillance, transcripts, things like that. I adored Illuminae, the 1st book in this series. Was very disappointed by Gemina, the 2nd one. Not extremely disappointed, but since I gave Illuminae 4 stars and I gave Gemina 3 stars, I would call that disappointed. But I do want to finish this trilogy and see how it all wraps up, because each book follows different characters, but I think it's all gonna really come together in this book. It started to come together in Gemina, but not fully. So Obsidium is the book for me. I'm ready to be blown away. I do want to get to The Witch Elm by Tana French. This is her newest novel. It came out in October of 2018, and it is a standalone mystery that follows a guy who gets in a really bad accident and has to move in with his uncle to help take care of him, or to help get taken care of, and he's on the mend and he ends up finding a skull in the tree, and then there's like he's getting framed for it. It sounds very convoluted. It is the first Tana French book that is not part of her Dublin Murder Squad series, and I believe her first one that doesn't follow a cop. So I am very curious. Tana French is one of my favorite authors. You guys know this. I adore her. So this is gonna be on my TBR. The last time that I had one of her books on my TBR, it took me like a year to read it. So we're gonna try and be better than that and get to this sooner rather than later. I definitely want to pick up Dance of Thieves by Mary E. Pearson. This is a spin-off to her Remnant Chronicles trilogy that I loved. Set in the same world, follows different characters, follows a thief and a captain of the guard, which is a trope that just butters my croissant, and I want to read this. I want to read this soon. We also have A Reaper at the Gates by Sabaa Tahir. This is on my list because I absolutely adore Sabaa Tahir's writing. This is the 3rd book in the Ember in the Ashes trilogy, and I want to read it because I love this trilogy. I mean, it's a series, it's not a trilogy. I want to read this really soon. I think the 4th book comes out this year. Can anyone confirm that? Am I being crazy? I don't know, but I need it. And finally, hopefully this is the last time you'll see Truth Witch by Susan Dennard on a TBR list of mine. I think this is starting to be built up so much in my mind that I'm afraid to read it now because I'm afraid I'm not gonna like it. But it's been compared to Avatar: The Last Airbender. I really need to read it. I really do. So I'm hoping to get to this like in January. That's how serious I am about this. This is gonna be read in January. Watch me. Hold me accountable, please. So those are the books that are on the top of my TBR for 2019. What are some books that you guys want to read? Are you trying to cut down on your TBR or anything like that? Because I definitely am. My physical TBR, at least. I don't think I'll ever have 0 books to read ever. Like, that's just crazy. But I do want to cut down on my TBR. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I will see you guys next time. Goodbye!